Welcome to another Coaster Kev video from Branson, Missouri. Today I'll be talking about why I think Silver Dollar City is the best park in the US. Driving into Missouri for the first time, I never realized how lush and green this place is. I thought Six Flags St. Louis had a beautiful nature all around, but it has nothing on Silver Dollar City. By the way, check out my video on St. Louis if you haven't already, and be sure to subscribe to my channel if you want more amusement park content to help plan trips. Silver Dollar City is like the park that keeps giving. From its crazy layout that could definitely get you turned around, you can tell that you're in for an adventure. Luckily, there's signs and writing on the ground to help guide your way. A map can also help you, but if you're stubborn like me, not so much. I loved all the fun little peepholes and that show the history of the park or other random things that give this place so much character. Additionally, the food is so delicious, but I didn't get any photos because I was just eating so much. Probably the best theme park in food for my opinion. The sausage skillet was my favorite while there. However, I didn't think their cinnamon bread was as good as Dollywood, even though it's the same recipe. Now I want to talk about the best part of this park, the roller coasters. This park packs a powerful 1-2 punch with Time Traveler and Outlaw Run. Most of my days were on both of these rides, with over 10 rides on each. This was done over my 2 days in the park. Time Traveler was such a shock for me, even though I was just as excited for a unique ride, with it being only one of 2 Mach Extreming spinning coasters in the world. It doesn't look like much, but packs a punch with so much fun in the ride, from taking the loop sideways to going through a corkscrew, and it feels like a vertical loop since you're going forward. Also, the pop of airtime on the twisting airtime hill is an amazing highlight of the ride for me, since it's basically ejecting you towards thunderation. But how can I forget the vertical drop out at the station? It's insane in the back, and it's such a weird sensation, being yeeted out of your seat sideways. As you can tell, I'm in love with this coaster, and it's definitely in my top 20 now. The second ride I was super excited for was Outlaw Run. I had just gone on Goliath at Six Flags Great America, and was excited to try another Rocky Mountain Coaster's topper track wooden coaster. Sadly, I was a little disappointed on my first ride. I picked the back seat, but the pothole at the bottom of the first drop gave me a slight headache. Luckily, it redeemed itself when I did second to back and every other odd numbered row to ensure another smooth ride. It's still a little rough, but it won't give you a headache, and it's such an enjoyable ride when you don't have to brace yourself in the even rows. The amount of airtime was a little painful, and I never say that, but I was loving it. I felt like we were traveling through the forest, running away from the sheriff like we were outlaws, per the name. It was such an adventure of a ride, and a clear second for me until they retrack it in the rough areas. The other supporting coasters were quite impressive as well, with Powder Keg and Wildfire being my favorite. Wildfire was the biggest surprise at the park. The layout didn't look anything too special, but the placement on the hill with a gorgeous view made it so photogenic. My first ride was in the back row, and I really hated it. In the back seat, it was just uncomfortable from the beginning to end. The front changed my mind completely. It was so much fun and so smooth, and I loved the first element after the drop. The Immelman was so much fun, and felt so different and made it so unique. Definitely better than Kumba at Busch Gardens, Tampa. Let me know if you agree, or fight me in the comments. Powder Keg is an interesting roller coaster. It's a capacity nightmare though, so it's definitely good to go on this first or after it reopens when it goes down. It's definitely finicky, with it being an old Premier Rides water coaster that was Frankensteined into this form by S&S. But it's got an exciting and forceful air-compressed launch, and an odd layout that pulls some decent laterals and some airtime.
The train's going from the transfer track onto the main track. Looks like we might be going soon.
Transfer track. It's a very fun ride to look at near the launch, with the building that holds the train before launch having animatronic doors opening, showing the explosives in the shed that get set off as you launch out.
Attention riders, for your safety, keep your head back into the headrest, your arms down, and hold on to the lap bar. Keep your hands, arms, and feet inside the train at all times.
It's gonna blow!
As I said, it was a very unique ride with not only a launch, but also a lift hill. I was also very happy to get a ride on Fire in the Hole in its final year in its current form. The ejector airtime from the back train was just amazing on this ride at the very end. Otherwise, the show scenes were quite nice. Thunderation was a wild ride for an Aero mine train coaster. I could believe the forces on this thing for a family coaster, but it seemed to be a crowd favorite with a decent line most of the day. Lastly, I got a ride on the Grand Exposition coaster, just to get the credit since these Zamperla Kitty coasters are everywhere. But it's in a beautiful part of the park, which I enjoyed while waiting out a thunderstorm on my first day at the park. I even got to try a Zamperla disco that I thought was interesting, nestled in the trees. As for water rides, I think the park does a great job with the magnum opus being Mystic River Falls. The Flooded Mine was a very unique shooting boat ride that I thought was so much fun, being a change from the typical shooting rides out there. The log flume was also nicely themed, and a fun way to not get as soaked as Mystic River Falls. However, Mystic River Falls was by far the best rapids ride I've ever been on. I don't like to get too wet, but this ride shows no mercy from beginning to end. Also, as an engineer, I love seeing that lift and downward spiral to the drop. It just heightens the anticipation as you hope you don't spin to face the splashdown first. Another highlight to not be overlooked is the shows that they have here at Silver Dollar City. I definitely enjoy it and would recommend checking out all of them that interest you. Another must-do while you're at Silver Dollar City is the Marvel Cave. It's part of the park, so you don't want to miss out, and it's free. The cave is located at the front of the park in the front entry area. They do tours throughout the whole day, and you can make a reservation easily. Just show up about 30 minutes before the tours, and that's it. You're going to be going in line, and you just wait from there. It's quite beautiful seeing this whole cave. It's a nice, cool way to get away from the heat and just experience something like you've never seen before. Another must-do is the train for the sight lines as well as the fun stuff that happens.
Oh, yes. Hey, maybe we can scare them off if we all work together. Now, everyone, shake your fist at those bowlings and call them ugly. Now, we're in the middle of our summer celebration. We're going to have summer nights coming up towards the end of it. We're going to have pumpkins in the city during our harvest festival. Then a personal favorite of mine, an old-time Christmas to close out the season. So y'all be sure to come back and visit as often as you can. All right, y'all, here we go. Car number 1, screen. Car number 2, screen. Yeah, that's a pretty good screaming, y'all. I'm riding with a bunch of loudmouths. That's our roundhouse. That's where we keep all of our trains and perform maintenance on all of our engines. You might notice something a little funny about our roundhouse, though. Yeah, that's right. Our round.
Overall, Silver Dollar City has earned its way to be my favorite park, surpassing Dollywood. Hirschend, the chain that this park is a part of, has done an amazing job with both parks, but the collection of coasters, food, and overall theming at this park is far superior. They both have an amazing character and a place in my heart. If you'd like me to make a video comparing the two, let me know in the comments. Thanks again for making it this far in the video. If you enjoyed yourself, please give this video a like, and please subscribe to help make me to my goal of 50 subscribers so I can do a live video in the future. With that, this has been Coaster Kev, and I'm coasting out.